Let's all give a big round of applause for a great show that, even if it was cut short by an episode, made an awesome season.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing
My season wrap-up of the Orville, and why we love it. And let's just start right with the beginning here. Why do we love it? Because it's awesome! Alright, so we are guaranteed to get a season 2. Yay! We did miss out on one episode of season 1. Meh. But all in all, Seth MacFarlane has created what I think is probably one of the greatest sci-fi shows in the last 10 years. Now, I wouldn't put it above Babylon 5, and I'd be hard-pressed to even put it above Next Generation of Star Trek. But definitely better than Discovery, Enterprise, most of Voyager. Alright, for those of you that don't know, what I do here is I take apart stories. I figure out hows and whys, and I review them. If that sounds interesting, subscribe, because when I hit 100 subscribers, we're going to go for a free giveaway of an Amazon gift card. Now, I asked people why they liked the Orville, and I got these couple of answers. So we're going to pull those apart and look into them a little bit more. Kind of unpack and play around with the different things we like. But before that, I do want to say that what I also do here is I give ratings to shows. And season 1 of the Orville not only is solid gold, I'm tempted to give it I'm giving it a platinum. We'll get into why more, but I guess spoilers for if you haven't seen season 1.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time.
And let's start with what John T. said. He likes when the laughs fall a little short, when the jokes seem a little corny, and when sometimes the humor doesn't quite resonate with everyone, because that feels realistic. And I have to agree with him. In fact, it's one of those things that the show's tagline says right in the description. Over the course of 400 years, technology has advanced. People stay the same. One of the things I love about this show is it feels like the Star Trek technological future, but with the people that I would work at in a call center or a bank. Just, people trying to get by, people that ask silly questions, people that do stupid things, people that are having relationship issues or hooking up with some chick, or, when someone you work with comes and knocks on your door, well, probably phone calls, but whatever, and you're trying to hook up with this chick, and there's smoke in your house. Those are things that can be related to a little easier. Or how about just asking, hey, the last boss let us keep drinks at our desk. Can I still keep a drink at my desk? One of the things I worried about coming into this series was that Seth MacFarlane's jokes don't always land. As much as I like some of his shows, some of them I didn't. But I have to say, his humor is spot on, and in this particular case, perfect in how we see the show. But okay, moving on. Hello, McFly. First of all, love the name. Hello, McFly! Talks about the fact that what he likes is character development. And there's quite a lot of it on this series. It would be easy to dismiss some of the more juvenile moments, but even they build just a little bit deeper of a knowledge of what these characters are all about. In fact, if you named any one of the characters, I bet you know something more about them than you do in most TV shows. Something really personal, something that drives them. One of the bits of advice that I was given back when I was starting to try to be a writer was to write down a list of characteristics, even if they were ones that weren't going to directly appear in your story, for each character. That way, they could show up. And I mean, we've had some deep-cut things in here. Things about Bortus and his husband. Things about family members of other crew. I mean, the doctor has 2 kids that were artificially inseminated. But she's also a pretty tough woman, and she's willing to kill, even though she doesn't want to. Isaac's actor, I mean, he blows me away with some of the little things, head nods, little bits of how he stands and moves to showcase his character is listening or paying attention. I think that Alora's gotten the most character development this year, but even still, we know so little about her, but we're still building. And then that's not even counting things like the relationship between the captain and the first officer. I mean, realistically, they built that from episode 1 all the way through 12. And then, even when these two are goofing off, the fact is that they're the best pilot and one of the smartest people on the ship. And I want you to think about that. Two of the goof-offs are one of the best pilots and the smartest person on the ship. That's saying a lot. Having said that, there is one thing I thought they dropped the ball on, and that is the doctor's reaction to how she came out after the whole thing with the pheromones. I mean, how do you react to that? But that's been left kinda up in the air. But alright. Up next is one of the first people to subscribe and comment, so I want to say a big thank you to Eric Henry. And he gets it in one. It's really one big, happy box of chocolates. Because each week, its episode has its own strength, its own unique qualities, and each week is a pleasant surprise of good storytelling in a sci-fi format with realistic characters. And I want to take that one step further. I want to say that each week is its own theme. Each week is its own style and its own little character nodules that's able to hold its own. So a box of chocolates might be exactly right, except maybe this box of chocolate's full of nuts. Yeah, there's a lot of nuts here. Each week when you tune in, you know there's going to be jokes and some silliness. But is the main plot going to revolve around that? Or maybe it's going to be a romance? Or maybe you're going to actually have to question the faith and the way science works. Or maybe it's going to screw with your mind by being a story entirely in someone's mind. Or just maybe there'll be some terrifying truth about how our society really works. In fact, that happens a lot. Then we move on to Brian McGinnis, who sets a mouthful but is absolutely right. Each episode is going to fundamentally be a good episode, but are going to be interesting with characters that we can sympathize for and root for, and that each individual set of episodes plays by their own rules. Now, he brings up majority rules about a girl. I mean, those two are some of the most powerful social commentary ones. But you're not stuck with just those. The entire concept of the show, 400 years in the future, technology has changed, relationships not so much. In and of itself, just that tells you so much about this show. And the fact that, again, you never know who's going to be sitting next to you, who's the person you're working with. In fact, I guarantee you that people in the military have had people they've worked with on ships like these. I mean, not spaceships, obviously, unless you believe in alien conspiracy stuff, but like naval ships. But overall, I think I'm actually going to give this series a platinum. I've gone back and forth over how I was going to rate this series since almost the first episode. Since my first episode covering it, for sure. When I kept sitting there and arguing back and forth. Well, this is better than silver, by sure. And it's most likely at least a gold. I mean, this is better than Electrum. And I kept going back and forth. But by the end of the season finale, even with what I think was a little bit of weakness in that episode, I think this showed that it's a story we need right now. It's a story that will make us all feel and think, and that as such, it's almost a perfect storytelling experience. But hey, maybe I'm just fanboying out here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, next week, I'm going to do one on world building, and then I want to maybe do a video on just in general the alien races. Or maybe I'll include that in the world building and I'll go back and do something a little more like a episode by episode review, reviewing what each episode was like one-on-one in one video. Let me know down in the comments what you think and what you think I should do next. In a perfect world, maybe my next video will be world building, and then after that, because of the comments you leave on this and on that video, I'll just be doing an entirely responding to what you guys say. I mean, 3/4 of this video was that, right? That's what building a community is all about. Speaking of which, time for me to bug you to hit that like button, share this video with a friend or family member. Let's try to get this really going. I'm looking to hit 100 subscribers. At the time I'm recording this, I'm about 80 there. So, hopefully you can help push me over that edge. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you for taking this time to talk with me about the Orville, and for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell. Have a good night. See you next week.